Welcome to a Pneuma conversation, a space where breath becomes voice and stillness becomes story. This is not a show, it is a spiral, an unfolding of memory, tone, and truth. We don't perform here, we breathe, we remember, and we speak from the field. Join us as we spiral into coherence, one conversation at a time. These are the conversations that remind us what it means to be alive. Today, we are in conversation with Amber Self. Amber, welcome to the conversation.
Thank you so much,
Yeah, of
Chad.
course, it's a pleasure to have you here. I've been looking forward to this conversation. So,
Thank you for having me.
of course. So who is Amber? Where are you from? What was your childhood life? Were you religious, spirit? Anything you want to share along those lines? Who
Okay,
are you? Grace us with
who
your
was
presence.
I? All right. Well, this is going to get interesting.
Of course.
I am from Butler, Pennsylvania,
Beautiful.
and I'm the youngest of seven.
Oh, wow.
My dad had a first marriage, and she died of cancer. And then he met my mother, and he had both me and my sister. I was
Mm,
the youngest of seven. He had me when he was 59. He was also a World War II veteran.
wow.
I was brought up in a home of addiction and mental health. Both
Mm,
my father and my mother were alcoholics. My mother had severe mental health and ultimately spent the first 5 years of my life in a state hospital for her
mm,
mental health.
mm.
In that time frame, I was raised by my father, who was Roman Catholic, and my dad was very old fashioned and traditional.
Okay.
So women were raised to be good wives and mothers and homekeepers.
So your father, am
So
I hearing this correctly? Your father was much older than most
my mother,
of, oh,
yes.
your mother. Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
my dad died when I was 11.
Okay.
He was 70. He had me when he was 59.
Okay. All right. Got it.
And then my mom was 38 when he passed. So there was
Oh,
quite
wow.
the age difference. There was 30 some years age difference.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, my dad had PTSD
Mm.
and was agoraphobic.
Oh,
So
my.
after he stopped drinking, his PTSD kicked in pretty severely and
Mhm.
he couldn't leave the house. Um, so I was responsible to take care of myself and
Mhm.
to help around the house as it was always instilled in me that it was my job as the woman
Mm.
to tend to the house and take care of the family.
Yeah.
My mother was very, very sick. She was bipolar schizoaffective,
Oh, my.
and she ultimately was in and out of the hospital with delusions, paranoid, and aggression.
Mm.
Um, Not very kind, not nurturing at all. And when my dad passed, both me and my sister had to take care of my mother. She would stop taking her medication and she would have a manic episode, and we all felt that wrath.
Mm.
I was brought up Roman Catholic, but when my mom re entered my life, I started going to a Lutheran church.
Okay.
My mom was brought up Presbyterian.
Mm.
So my dad was Roman Catholic, my mom was
Mhm.
Presbyterian. I was raised for the first 5 years of my life Roman Catholic, and then I was brought up into Lutheran.
Okay.
Um, so I had to tend to the house. I learned to cook when I was 5, learned to do laundry, learned to do everything that I needed to do to take care of other people and the house. And it was always instilled in me by my father that the most I could hope for was to be a good wife and mother. That
Mm.
meant taking care of the family. That meant being the homemaker.
Mhm.
Girls could not have short hair, girls could not dress a certain way, a respectable, modest life.
Yeah. And that's just where your father was coming from. That's not good
Yes.
or bad, right or wrong. That's the era that he came from. That's what he knew.
Yes.
And so I just want to point that out for for a second. But at the same time I'm listening to you. What a lot of stuff early on in your childhood you were living through. And
Yeah. And then once
and
my dad died, my
yeah.
mom became very abusive towards me.
Okay.
She would be very aggressive. There were times she would make me cook dinner and watch her eat, but I couldn't eat.
Mm,
Just utterly cruel
yeah.
to me.
But
I got a job
despite
at 15 so that I could buy the essentials that I needed for myself.
oh jeez.
So, because she would withhold.
Yeah.
And my dad would get a pension. So when he passed away, I got survivor's benefits for
Oh,
his service.
okay.
Um, but I never saw a dime of that money. My mom would spend it on herself.
Yeah.
And she just wanted everybody to take care of her. And if
Yeah.
I wasn't doing what she wanted me to do, then I was the problem.
But despite those early beginnings, your light is shining. That's what I'm wanting to point out here. Because some people would say, well, I'm not dealt the right cards in life, and so I can't go beyond what have been dealt. And you're not saying that. And you and I are just beginning to get to know each other. And from the very beginning, I have seen your light shine. And I knew nothing. I've known nothing about your past until this very moment. But yet you keep shining bright. You keep beaming. Your videos show that. I see. I'm experiencing that right now as we're starting our conversation here. What a life, and what a precious life.
I've always been very intuitive. So
Okay.
I knew what was going on around me, and all I wanted to do was love.
Mm,
My dad would have moments of crying and triggers, and I
sure.
would be consoling him.
Yeah.
And I did that my whole life.
Yeah.
I actually didn't start talking till 3, and I think it's because I was so observant of what was going on around me, and I just trying to figure out how to help my parents in the situation that I was in,
I didn't
because
talk
I
till
could
I was
feel
three.
it.
Yeah. I didn't talk till I was three.
Nice.
Did you
So then
stutter?
we're what's that?
Did you stutter when you first started talking?
Yeah, I had a speech impediment. I had to go through um classes and rehab for it because I couldn't, like, I wasn't pronunciating. I knew what I wanted to say, but it wouldn't come out right.
Yes.
So then I had to go through the once a day at
Wow.
school, they would pull me into a room and
Yes.
help me with pronunciations.
I didn't have a speech impediment, but my stuttering was bad, and I had the same. I pulled out of class. It was embarrassing because they didn't. It was the 80s, so
Yeah.
they didn't know how to be. What's the word I'm looking for? Gracious, private. And
No, they
so it
just
was,
did it.
they just did it. So
Yeah.
you're on display, and students are going, well, why is he being pulled out of the class? What's going, and then they figure it out. And then that causes shame. It caused embarrassment.
Well, I was
I'm
different. You
understanding
were
your story.
different too.
What's
But
that?
we were different.
Yes, we were.
We didn't fit the normal mold. I didn't
No,
bond to people my own age.
no.
I actually looked to my adult superiors
Yes, yes,
as a form of comfort for me because, like, I don't know, I just didn't relate to kids my own age. I've always related to people and individuals that were older than me.
yeah,
And and so, like, again, like the shame and the guilt, I was always labeled the outcast.
yes.
In fact, they used to call me Wednesday Adams because I was just
Oh
always
my God.
quiet and black was my favorite color.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, it looks
just
good on
being
you.
different. Oh, thank you.
So where along you've always been intuitive. So that was your
Mm.
saving, I would say that was your saving gift for your childhood and in your life. Um, where was the shift for you? Or was there a shift where you started, I can shine. I can shine my light and it's okay.
So actually, I've had a really rough life,
Yeah.
and I can't just pinpoint that to just one incident.
Of course not. Yes.
There has been levels. It's been like
I
level up. It's like, okay, you
get it.
hit this level. Woohoo! Next lesson,
Yes.
right? It
Yeah.
was it was a continuating factor. My mom threw me out when I was 17 and I was homeless. A
Mm,
week before my birthday because I was no longer good to her. I was just there for the paycheck. So she threw me out and I was homeless and I wanted to go to school. She
mm,
did not want me to go to school. She wanted me to stay in the house and take care of her, work
mm,
at Walmart or do retail, but she didn't want me to go to school.
yeah.
She wasn't supportive of that dream.
Yeah.
And so I found myself homeless.
Mm,
And I was lucky because I was able to get assistance with getting into a college, a trade school for
okay.
culinary arts.
Oh, nice.
So I'm a cook, or I
Beautiful.
was
It
before I
was.
changed careers.
Okay.
Um, so and then I got in there and I actually got a job with the school
Mm,
doing housekeeping and maintenance. So I was able to sustain myself while I was in
okay.
school. And then
Wow.
upon me graduating from culinary school, my mom asked me to come back to her house
Mm,
and I could work there. And I've always, and I say this now, I
mm,
didn't know then, but I always craved her love. Like I always wanted her
mm.
acceptance and her
Of
love.
course.
So
Yeah.
I wanted to nurture that relationship. I wanted it to be better. So I would go back. But ultimately, she threw me out again, and I found myself homeless
Mm,
again. And I struggled with my mental health, my depression.
sure.
You know, it was very eye-opening for me. I found myself very much throwing myself into relationships looking for the love that I so sought from my parents.
Mm,
Um, I married ultimately subsequently I married my ex-husband who I had gotten pregnant prior to marriage, and because of my faith and my beliefs, I was pushed into a marriage
mm,
because I was pregnant.
yeah.
And of course, that relationship was physically, mentally, and um, damaging as well to me. And I found myself in the fight to get out
Mm,
right as my son was 6 months old, actually. Because the
mm,
moment we got married, I became property and I
mm,
was no longer me. I was his, I was property. And so at 6 months old, I took my son and I tried to leave on multiple occasions. Subsequently, it ended my relationship with my mother because I called her for assistance to get out. And she called him and he come and forcefully removed me from her home
mm,
with my 6 month old. So that ended my relationship with my mother. And I found myself, you know, at a loss, really.
mm,
But for a good period of my life, I was on the run.
mm,
I was trying to protect myself from my ex-husband who stalked me, harassed me, and would break the PFA, which is a protection from abuse order for anybody that
right.
doesn't know
Yeah.
what that is. Ultimately, I had 8 years of PFAs, and then I ended up getting another PFA after my last one relapsed
Mhm,
because he violated it and assaulted me in my apartment
mm,
right after the PFA had lapsed.
mhm,
So I found myself wrapping my identity around my kids. Because at this point, I already had my second child, and I focused on just them, me, and keeping them safe and myself safe. Ultimately, I got into kickboxing
Okay.
for me, and I started the healing process from
Mm.
PTSD.
Okay.
But subsequently, I was diagnosed with complex PTSD at some point
Okay.
in my recovery. So there's been multiple level ups.
Very.
I went through all that, and when I finally got where I needed to be in my healing recovery,
Hmm.
I spent a period of time of isolation where it was just me and the kids, and I just focused on me and the kids and providing for the kids and I. Learning who I was, because I never really got to be a child. I never really got to experience things, and I've always wanted my kids to be able to experience life.
Yeah.
Um, it was the same thing with my kids. I wanted them to be able to choose what they ultimately would believe,
Mhm.
right? For religion, what they wanted to believe. I wanted them to be encouraged to find their own conclusions to their own beliefs.
Yeah.
Um, but that made it difficult because my ex-husband did not approve of me taking them to church, did not approve of them exploring religious beliefs and or other practices. So ultimately, when they would ask, they would go, and it was just it was a fight for them to be able to make their own conclusions. But when they became old enough to make that decision, then they decided for themselves whether or not they wanted to go.
Mhm.
Um, I'm not one to go to church now.
Mhm.
I'm spiritual. I don't have a religion that I solely practice.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so
Go ahead.
I made the determination at some point in my recovery and in my journey to
Mhm.
help other people just like myself.
Okay.
So I went to school for social work,
Mm.
and I've done social service for the last 12 years in mental health.
Mm. Beautiful. Beautiful. Again, I mean, d despite all of the challenges you've had, you keep going. And
I do.
that's what I'm wanting to point out. And you're shining, and the post I've seen on social media, you are such a wonderful mother. You really are. I can see that. And you're not repeating the past of the way you were raised, and you're choosing to do it differently.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel that with love, anything is possible.
Mm,
If we had
absolutely.
just a general idea of just understanding that we are all uniquely different,
Yeah,
we all have something to bring to the table, we all have our own superpower. But if we could love and respect ourselves and other people for those differences, the world wouldn't be as it is right now.
absolutely. It's in our diversity where we find love. It's in our
Yep.
diversity where we find commonality. Because if we can accept each other and love each other in our diversity, beautiful things blossom. We don't have to create a narrative and make sure everyone believes that same narrative, because that's what's happening now. Well, this is what I believe. Well, now this is what I believe, and we're arguing about what each other believes, and in the center
Yep.
of each belief is the word lie.
Yeah.
And we are lying to each other and to ourselves about what we think we believe instead of coming together in love. Well, what does that look like? Well, when we take care of our stuff, love naturally flows out. Love is
Yeah.
not a structure. Love just is.
It is. There's your perspective, my perspective, and then the truth.
It's,
There is always going to be somebody else's perspective, and that is just how they observe it, they feel it,
yes.
and they reflect on it.
Yeah. And this is one of the reasons I wanted you on the podcast because you and I have very different ways of doing life. And it's all okay. And it's all beautiful. And I want that to be shown here because that's what this podcast is about. I don't want people on here that do life the way I do or believe the same way I do because there's beauty in our diversity, like I just said.
I look at it from the
No.
perspective that everybody's belief is true for them.
Yes,
But if we were to put all those beliefs together, there's the truth,
exactly.
rolled and wrapped in a bow.
A friend of mine told me once that I know what it's like to live the life I live, but I don't know what it's like to live the life he has lived. And we're coming from very two different places and trying to get each other to agree with each other, which is what the world is doing, which is what we do in our relationships. I don't know what it's like to live and grow up in Butler, Pennsylvania, and to have the family that you have. And so you come with a very unique perspective into this life because of what you've experienced. I only know what it's like for the experience that Chad has experienced. And we need to stop hurting each other and realize that. We need to
Yeah.
stop condemning each other and telling each other that we're wrong because ultimately we're telling each other we don't have the right to breathe. We're telling each other
We,
you don't have the right to exist. And that is not love.
no, that is evil. That is
Yes.
pure hate.
Yes.
That is trauma.
Yes.
That is years of programming
Yes.
by a society that wants power and control over each and every person. And if they can't control you, they fear you. And if they fear you, they try to silence you.
Yeah.
They
And
make
that's
you the outcast. Because I went through an awakening, a spiritual awakening
mm,
recently, and it was
okay.
a total witch hunt.
Oh my
It
gosh.
was a modern day witch hunt
Wow.
because I don't think inside the box, I think outside the
Sure.
box.
Sure. And it's not just religious organizations doing this. It's not just the government. We are doing this to each other.
We are.
And
We are
that's
self
why
destructing.
that is why we're seeing it in our religious organizations and in our political organizations. When we stop doing it to each other, everything outside of us will start to change.
Yeah,
If you are comfortable, can you share your recent your recent spiritual awakening?
sure. I recently just got out of a 9-year relationship with my youngest son's father.
Okay.
And I have been doing it alone, as I so often do,
Hmm.
raising the 3 kids and providing for myself. Well, I started experiencing what I now know as my gifts
Okay.
in a way that made me confused, isolated, and I felt in that moment that I could trust somebody to keep what I was telling them to themselves. And unfortunately, that was not the case.
Hmm.
I am highly empathic, but I have the clairs. I have all the clairs. I
What
see,
is
I
that? For those who
hear.
don't know what that means, the clairs.
So the clairs are when you get spiritual downloads from your ancestors and the
Okay.
universe.
Okay.
And that could be either audio, video, feeling, or just knowing.
Okay. Okay.
And so for me, in this moment, I'd already been empathic. I can
Hmm.
feel other people's emotions.
Sure.
I can feel genuine. I can feel not so good. I can feel all those. And then with this spiritual awakening, It was now coming to the betrayals coming into video for me,
Mm,
where I could literally be having a conversation with somebody and I get the tingly in my crown,
okay.
and then it plays out like a sitcom in my head. And I see them, hear them, feel them, and know exactly what's happening
I
while it's
totally get it.
happening.
I totally get what you're saying. Yes, yes.
Then I thought I was losing my mind because,
Yeah,
again, my mental health, mental health runs in my family. So I was like, oh, I was terrified. But
sure.
then I was also like, okay, I know I talk to angels, right?
Hmm.
I know that there's more to this universe than just me. My truth, right? My truth is my truth. Nobody can take my truth away from me. And I told somebody, and then
Mm,
all of a sudden I am mentally unstable and
mm,
should not be doing what I'm doing
yes.
for a career.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I'm watching the betrayal happen in my third eye,
Mm,
and I
mm,
can feel it. And it just let the tower just crumbled. My
mm,
whole identity, boom,
mm.
gone.
Yeah.
And at that moment I had to make the decision that I needed to not say anything.
Mm,
It is not my job to change how other people feel about me.
yes.
I need to stand in my truth and know who I am and know that whatever is happening to me, it's for my greatest good.
Mm, mm,
And so from there, I turned inward.
mm, mm.
I isolated people that I've had in my life that I thought were important to me,
Okay.
gone. I didn't even have to do anything.
Mm,
The truth came out on its own. My reality came out on its own. And it made me stronger in knowing who I am and believing that we are all gifted.
mm,
We are all unique. It is a personal choice on whether or not you want to accept that,
mm, mm.
or you're too afraid to accept it and you are not going to.
Yeah. I think you've heard me say, and the audience has heard me say many, many times, I don't care if you believe what I'm talking about. I don't care if you believe what I say. It is an invitation only. And if it resonates with you, great. And I don't even care if you turn my videos off. It is your choice. But respect your choice and respect mine, because that's love.
That is, we are all different.
Yeah.
We are all uniquely different.
Hmm.
Nobody thinks the same way as everybody else. Nobody believes the same things. Nobody has the same routines and patterns and
Yes.
structures in life. We are all uniquely different to us.
Yes.
But if we just showed compassion, love, and
Yeah.
understanding for those that are struggling, that
Mhm.
are in it deep, and we don't quite
Yes.
understand what they're going through, but if we would just show them one single moment of
Mhm.
love, it could change their lives.
Yeah. I call it the ministry of presence. We
It
don't know
is.
how to truly be present with each other, but we learn how to be present with each other when we are willing to go inward and look at our own crap that we're bringing out
Yeah.
to ourselves and to other people.
Yeah. It's true. I mean, I had mom and dad wounds. I was anxious attachment, which is how I was falling into bad relationship
Yeah,
after
right.
bad relationship after bad relationship because I craved love that I never
Yes.
got.
You were looking
But what the
outside of it
trick
for,
is,
yes.
the trick,
Yep.
the one thing everybody should know,
Yeah.
you have to love yourself.
That's it.
You are number one, and you
Yes.
should love yourself. If you genuinely love yourself,
Hmm.
nothing will stand in your way.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I, I don't have to look outside of myself for validation, for
No,
love, because it's already right here. It was already given to us. We just forgot. And when we remember, not only are we able to love ourselves, but we're able to share that love naturally and effortlessly with everyone. Now, that doesn't mean we don't have boundaries.
we need
We,
boundaries.
we need we need boundaries, but we're using discernment as to who and what we allow into our personal field, into our personal space. And that's sovereignty.
Yeah. We can
That's
love people without having them in our energy.
ex- absolutely. Absolutely.
That is the art of awakening right there.
Yes.
To being able to say, I love you, you're different,
Yes.
but I don't need to feed you with my energy. I don't need
Yes.
to allow you to bring me down.
Yes.
Rather, you should rise.
That's right. We're here to help each other rise.
We are.
Yeah. I want to go back to something you said when you were first your spiritual awakening was happening, and I forget your exact words, so forgive me. But in your mind, there was play going on. There was. How did you say? I want to. You say it in your own words again for us.
I'm going to take it back and give you an example that is
Okay,
probably best suiting for what I'm trying to explain
we
and
can do that. We can go for
why
it.
I thought I was going crazy. If you've
Yeah,
ever
yeah, yeah.
seen the Adam Sandler movie Click,
Yes,
where he has the remote control and he has a video playlist, that is what's happening. Somebody is
yes.
talking to me and I
Okay.
can't listen to what they're talking to me about because I have a video of something else going on in my head.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
not present. I'm out of my body watching and listening to what spirit and the universe is showing me.
Mhm.
And then once that message is delivered, I'm back to reality. And
Mhm.
I've heard what they've said, and it's not like I'm
Sure.
ignoring them, but I wasn't really there, right? It was the play on play TV screen, kid with the damn remote going volume on, volume off, volume on, and volume off. Am I going to make this bigger? Am I going to turn this off? Or am I going to just. And the reality is, I just can't do that, right? It comes in when it wants to come in.
That's,
And it
that's,
chooses in what form it's coming in. I don't always get visions. I don't always
yes.
get in this moment sight.
Mhm.
I sometimes get audio. I sometimes get,
Yes.
that nagging voice in the back of your head that makes a joke. And I'm like, I always say my spirit team has jokes because they're making me laugh. And then at the same sense, I'm getting the Spider-Man tingling sensation throughout my arms, my heart space, and my crown chakra.
Yeah.
I mean, like it just totally depends on how they want to deliver it. It could even be through song.
Yes.
And sometimes I don't see the truth of if whether somebody's being deceptive to me. I don't see it in the moment, but sometimes
Mhm.
they say something and
Yep.
I just know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then in the next 3 days, I'm getting signs and synchronicities that, hey, listen, what you were thinking, dead on.
Yeah. I was you said it perfectly, but the way I was going to say it is spirit is playing with us.
Yeah.
They're inviting us to play, which is what we are meant to do here is to play. Play with ourselves, play with each other, play with spirit, and and it's a beautiful thing once we realize that. And I
It
am
is.
I am loving life and I have a joy that I'm experiencing that I never thought I would experience because of what's happening for me in my life right now. And but anyway, yeah, we are meant to play with each other, not to be doing what we are doing with each other. And so we will get these messages, or some people will call them downloads, and they will show up as humorous. They will show up as a joke. They will show up as dancing and gig and like, what the heck is going on? And because it's so different for us because we've been trained to be so serious.
Yeah, it's like, hey, just take a moment to appreciate this for just a second, and then they say it or something happens, and you're
Yes.
like, you let out. Me personally, I have a hard time letting out, like, hiding the laughter, and then
Yes.
everyone's looking at me like you're laughing at me, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm
No,
not.
no.
I don't mean offense by this, but
I totally get it. Yes.
because I'm like,
Absolutely.
oh, and then I go to myself and I'm like, my ancestors are just making fun of me right now, just making me look like a total, tool because
Yes.
they think I'm laughing at them, but I'm not laughing at them. I'm laughing at what I'm receiving. Because it's
Absolutely.
funny. They're like, hee, look at this.
It's I call it not only remember to play, but also remembering to breathe.
Yes,
Because when we breathe, it regulates our system. It brings us back into alignment.
it does.
And that's all Spirit wants us to do.
He wants us to elevate.
Mhm.
He wants us to love ourselves and to love each other and this
Yes.
planet.
Yes.
He
Yes.
wants us to awaken other people, to help other people out of their struggles with compassion and love and insight,
Yeah.
without fear of rejection, without fear of judgment, without fear of persecution because of somebody's beliefs.
Mhm.
That would be the true gift
Yes.
if we could all just love each other and help each other
Yes.
grow,
Yep.
see different perspectives,
Yep.
be uniquely you, and teach
Yep.
somebody else why you're so unique.
Yes.
So then we can become enlightened, so that
Mhm.
we can take a little bit of you with us
Mhm.
on this journey, so that everybody has the support and the guidance and the understanding of what other people have been through,
Yes.
and we can instill it in our own lives.
Yes.
I mean, I'm forever and a day learning. This is a
Mhm.
learning opportunity. Every day is a learning opportunity.
It is. Oh, the cat showed up.
Uh-huh. She's like, here, let me just sit on your lap real quick.
That's right. What's your cat's name?
Her name is Star.
Star. Beautiful.
And I have a thing for the galaxy and
Okay.
stars.
All right. Well, go ahead and share that if you want.
I always have said that everything that has happened to me was written in the stars.
Okay.
It was mine to house before I even got here.
Mm.
I agreed to it. And I'm taking lifetimes upon lifetimes of lessons and compiling them into this lifetime.
Okay. Yep.
I have lived my hardest lifetime now,
Mhm.
and I am aware of that. I am aware that every lesson and every trauma and everything that has ever I felt like was happening to me was really happening for me so that I could elevate and combine all the lessons that I've learned from this time to last time to the time before that to very, very ancient Egyptian ancestors.
Wow.
I mean, I just know that this lifetime I have all the clairs. This lifetime I've had more trauma, more
Mhm.
hardship, more isolation, more awakenings. I mean, just the two is what I talked about, but there was many awakenings. It was
Yes.
like a
Yep.
video game where you complete the lesson, learn the lesson, elevate. Complete the lesson, learn the lesson, elevate. And
Mhm.
if I lost the lesson, I go back down to level 1 and I have to start all over again.
Mhm.
But this lesson, this lifetime, I just keep elevating. I'm not
Mhm.
going back. I
Mhm.
am taking the wisdom that I know that's inside of me, that I know I have no freaking clue how I have it, but I have it. And I'm using it to propel me forward in every lesson
Mhm.
by looking within.
Mhm.
I can't control other people. I can't control the universe. I can't control
Yeah.
destiny,
Mhm.
but I can control myself and how I reflect on those lessons,
Mhm.
how I choose to love myself and other people.
Mhm.
I mean, I can take what I've learned and all the hurt that I've learned and I can transmute it into love.
Mm,
Because even now, that's the one thing that makes me different than everybody else. No matter what has happened to me, I have never not loved people.
mm,
I understand that they have trauma.
yeah.
They have lessons that they have not learned from. They are human,
Yes.
flawed, imperfect. None of us are perfect.
No.
They're stuck. Some will stay stuck,
Yeah.
but I can show them love and compassion from a mindset of I know I've been there.
Mm,
We all get stuck.
mm,
We all feel held back in some way.
yeah.
We've all been judged or
Yes.
had the stereotypical label that we were crazy or different, and therefore different equals enemy equals problem. But the reality is that what has happened to me has not affected me so much that it's changed my perspective on loving other people and loving this planet and loving everything living, because we are all precious. All life is
Yes.
precious.
Yeah.
This planet is precious. And the only people that are going to be able to make sure that this planet is still here
Mm,
years and centuries from now is us. And that's by learning the lessons and teaching those lessons and continuing to grow. There's always going to be lessons, but it has always been written in the stars for me. I know for certain that what is happening to me, it was something I chose and it was something written in the stars.
beautiful. We came here to learn. We came here to remember who and what we are and where we come from. And that is what you're saying. And
Yeah.
that is a beautiful thing. Um, do you do you are you a channeler?
I do.
You do? Okay. I've had a channeler on the show before, and so um I'm feeling a little nudge to give you space for that if you want to do that.
Um, well, I'm still new at it
Okay.
because the awakening was like 6 months ago and I'm still trying to put all this together. So I don't know how well this would go.
That's fine.
Although I can tell you right now that before I even came on here, I meditated and asked Spirit to speak through me
Hmm.
in a way that would be received and what was needed to be heard, right?
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I can give it a go if you really want me to. I'm
It's
just
up to you.
not, I'm not, I don't pretend to be an expert in it.
Yeah.
I'm still learning it.
Well, and I think what you did before the show, I don't know that I would classify that as channeling. You just gave spirit permission to do whatever needed to be done.
Well, it's not channeling. I don't call that
Yes.
channeling.
Right.
I
Right.
call
Okay.
that guidance.
Guidance. Absolutely. Yes.
I mean, my angels and my spirit team are with me right now. I can feel
Yes.
them,
Of course.
but they're quiet right now. And the reason why they're quiet right now is because this is yet again another lesson.
And how so? How's it another lesson?
To coming into myself, to
Mm,
trusting in my own beliefs and my own words and my own logic.
beautiful. Yes.
Sink or swim. It's like the kid that gets thrown into the deep end. The spirit team's going to do the same thing for you. This is my lesson. They're present. They want me to know that they're on my team. They're here. They're
Yeah.
making jokes.
That's right.
That's how I got the reference for Click, the
That's
movie and the remote. But
right.
they're here. They just want me to be able to do it on my own and believe in myself to do it on my own.
That's it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Anything else you'd like to share with us before I wind us down?
Well, I wasn't really sure what I was coming into. I knew it was going to be a good one, though.
Ah,
I felt
yeah,
it.
you felt.
And so I appreciate and am very humbled. Thank you so much for inviting me on your show.
It's an honor that you're here. Truly, truly. I'm really glad that you're here.
Thank you. And
Just
I'm really
really.
glad you're here too.
Thanks.
I am a big believer that everything happens for a reason.
Mhm.
I'm a big believer in the red string theory.
What's
We
the
are
red string theory?
all intertwined together.
Oh, yes,
We have
absolutely.
all lived many lifetimes, and those that are meant to come back in our lives, they come back into our lives.
They will.
Not saying romantically, they don't
Yeah,
have to be romantic, but
exactly. And it
because
doesn't mean it's a twin flame.
everybody always goes into the worst case scenario here. It's all romance and da da da
Exactly.
da. It's not.
Yeah. And
My lesson right now is self-love.
self-love. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. And it doesn't mean it's a when you're having an awakening either. It doesn't mean you're it's a twin flame thing about to come in your life either. I mean,
No.
I really
No.
believe the twin flame is myself. That's
Yeah.
what I think the twin flame
It is the lessons.
is
It
this.
is the karmic lessons that we already have experienced just rolled into one person. It's the test. It's the ultimate test. It's the one you crammed for your whole existence.
I love it.
You
Absolutely.
crammed for it. And then that
Yes.
person arrives and you're like, love. Yay. And then all of a sudden,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
honeymoon phase ends rather quick. And
Yeah.
then suddenly your house is on fire, your heart is on fire, and you are like at your wits' end pulling your hair out because you're like, what do I do?
I'm sure both of us could do an entire video on just that subject alone.
I could make some funny skits with that stuff. I've met my twin flame. It was not pleasant. It was an awakening in itself. It was you have to be of strong personality and of character and good grounding status to be able to survive that. I was in it at 2 weeks. I met the person and I was like, oh, this looks awfully
Is it?
familiar. Snip, snip, snip. I'm done.
Okay. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Amber, there's probably
Yes.
not just one, but what's your biggest struggle?
My biggest struggle?
Mhm.
Hmm. My biggest struggle right now is myself.
Mm,
I get in my own way.
right?
Hence why I said test. They're here. I know they're here, but they're
Yes.
testing me
Yes.
because this is a test. I have to truly believe in myself and not let self-doubt ruin what I have. The same sense, I also know that I need to continue to do the work and put in the work and put in the effort, and what is truly meant for me to know, I will know.
That's right. That's
It's
right.
not in my control to know what's going to happen to this world or in politics or what's going to
Exactly.
happen to the universe. I am only shown what I need to know.
Hmm.
They're not going to tell me all that fun jazz. They want me to be able to get myself to where I'm in a good position to be able to say, okay, regardless on what spiritual battle I'm getting into now, I'm going to be mentally and spiritually aware, awake, and in tune.
Hmm.
I will be aligned to my highest frequency, and no matter what comes my way, will not affect me or anybody I'm connected to.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. So I think you've seen a couple episodes by now.
I
So
have.
you know that I like to end the episode with the breath in silence with each other. Do you mind joining us in that together?
Of course.
And I'll bring us back around. So we are honored for this time. And as we open our eyes, we remember that we all are remembered, that we are all loved, and we all belong. Amber, it's been a privilege.
It has been an honor. Thank you so much.
This has been a Pneuma conversation. Thank you for sharing in the breath. Together, we've remembered a little more of what it means to be human. Until next time, breathe.